Welcome to the podcast where we dive deep into what really shapes our health, not just our habits, but our mindset. I'm April, a health and weight loss coach who is currently on my own journey to lose weight, rebuild confidence, and most importantly, change the way I think about myself and my goals. Each week, we will talk about the challenges of weight loss, the ups, the downs, the powerful roles our thoughts and approach play in transforming our bodies and our lives. Whether we're just getting started, feeling stuck, or ready to level up our results, this is the space for real talk and a reminder that change always comes from within. So take a deep breath, get comfortable, and let's get into it. So it's officially that time of year. Holidays are here. And if you celebrate Thanksgiving, it's only a few days away, right? So we think we always have so much time before they come, and they come so fast. So when we think about how we want to show up for our holidays, we often think, okay, I can eat half my plate, I can take the leftovers home, I can skip the dessert and take that home, I can go for a walk to get my movement in for the day, drink my water to make sure I'm feeling good. There's so many things, and they're all great ideas. But there's also another side to look at and think about. And how do I want to handle my feelings? I think all of us, even in the best circumstances, have emotions and thoughts during the holidays that, if not acknowledged, can lead to overeating even more than maybe we plan to, because we go into the day kind of knowing there's going to be some overeating, right? And even if it's not excessive, it's most likely going to be a little bit more than you would have on a normal day. And that's okay, right? It's a holiday and this is what we choose. So the other thing is there's so many choices going into it. You can choose over that. We have 6 weeks left of the year. So you can choose for the next 6 weeks. Do I want to maintain? Do I want to lose? Do I want to gain? But regardless of what those choices are, acknowledging our emotions in these holidays is such a key to meeting what we want to do. So I've been seeing a clip going around online that if you don't smoke, how you handle stress, and a guy or girl, whoever, because there are so many people doing it, you see them walking out of the house and packing a pack of Little Debbie Christmas snack cakes like you would pack a carton of cigarettes. And then you see them take it out and eat it instead of smoking a cigarette. And it's done to be funny, of course, and it's a great skit, but it also highlights how we do choose to use food to deal with stress, just like other people have other outlets. And it was bringing it more aware to my head, like, oh, it's such a great visual to see when that moment happens. And I think even some of the clips will have like arguing in the background or lots of dishes going on or whatever. So that clip got me thinking. And the other clip that I saw online a lot is Meghan Trainor has been popping up. And if you don't know who she, I'm sure everybody pretty much does, but if you don't know who she is, she's a singer. She sang all about this, all about the bass or whatever. And she was talking about, she was being interviewed and how she, in her career, was often criticized for being overweight. And now she's lost weight, and now she's being criticized for being too thin and how she did lose it. Or people in the comments I noticed were saying Ozempic and all of this. And Ozempic and weight loss drugs, the other thing I want to say about that I've been thinking about is people will judge no matter what you do. And I think of weight loss drugs or anything, weight loss surgery, whatever you might do, it made me think of, in my mind, I kind of equated it to, say you're in school and you're struggling to learn math and you hire a tutor. You're like, this person's really good at it. And that person can devote one-on-one time, help you figure out another way to learn math that makes sense to you. And you do the work. And then after the tutoring, you take the test and you pass. Do you do you feel any less excited that you passed that test because you hired a tutor because somebody helped you? Absolutely not. because you still did the work, you still did the studying, you still did the things you need to do, and you still made that effort. I know a lot of people who take um, the medical drugs or have had surgery really kind of undersell their efforts. Like, I lost it. Oh, but I'm on I'm taking this and that's what's helping me. But you're still doing it. It's still you, and you getting help in whatever way works best for you. There's nothing wrong with that, and it does not make it any different. It could be surgery, hiring a coach, signing up for Weight Watchers, whatever it is. If that's a help to you, that's all that matters. And you're still doing the work. You're still I really do not want people to feel like they have to make excuses or undersell their success because of how they achieved it. I mean, you don't want to be hurting yourself or starving, all the other things. But if it's guided by your physician and it's a choice you've made, feel confident in that decision and just be proud of what you've had. But with watching her interview, it really got me thinking about it does, and we've talked about it before, but it truly doesn't matter what you do. You cannot please everybody. Somebody's always going to have something to say. And that's where I really believe in strengthening your inner voice is such a key to feeling good about what you choose to do for yourself, because there's always going to be somebody to say something. But then you have to ask yourself, why does this other person's opinion or thought matter any more than my own? Why do I take their opinion and thought as fact over my own thoughts and opinions about myself? And if nobody was around, nobody was watching, what would I be thinking about what I'm doing? How would I be feeling? That's what we want to ask ourselves, because there's not a perfect person out there. Everybody has things to work on, things they want to do differently. But often we put more weight or more belief in somebody else's opinion over our own. And that's where a lot of, I think, the danger happens for ourselves, because we go to a gathering and you feel, sometimes they don't even say it, it's just what we're thinking in our head, like, this person's probably thinking I shouldn't be eating this, or is this person thinking I'm eating too much, or oh, I haven't lost weight since last holiday I saw them, are they thinking something about me now? They might not have even said anything to you, but we end up eating over it because then we start feeling bad about that. Right? And so, and maybe they have said something, or maybe it's just the stressor of the whole environment. It's a lot. Holidays are a lot of things going on at one time, a lot of things to navigate, and we might be reaching for that extra cookie or chip just to get through the moment. And I think what we want to do before the holiday comes, building up these next few days, is really think about what really matters in the holiday. What do you really enjoy? So let's set the food aside, right? We all enjoy food. There's things we look forward to, but let's put it aside for a moment and think, what else about the holiday really is enjoyable to you? So is it because you're not at work? The Macy's Day Parade, I know that's always something I personally look forward to. I always watched it with my mom, so we always go to my brother's the night before to make sure that we're there in the morning so we can have it on the TV and watch it together. It's on the background, you talk or whatever, but is it watching the game, just seeing the family and friends, playing games? My family's big into playing board games, so I always look forward to that. That's one of my favorite parts of it. So think about the other things that you like. So, in the moments where you might be feeling stressed or upset or tired, any of those things, you can kind of remind yourself, like, hey, this is not about me grabbing another pile of chips. This is about doing things with the people that I love. And also, a big thing that I try to do, and that's helped me, so I often will suggest it to others, is anytime you're feeling this way and you're thinking you're grabbing food and you can hear yourself thinking, like, I'm not hungry, I'm just feeling whatever, take a breath, step away, go to the bathroom, wash your hands. If you want to and can, take a step outside. Even if you don't go for a walk, just take a step outside to get some fresh air. If hopefully it's sunny, get some sun. That would help too. Play with a pet if they have an animal where you are. Like there's so many things. Get a drink of water, get some tea, get coffee, like any action to move you away from the environment that's feeling stressful in that moment and just to give you a breath is super helpful. And, you know, just remembering that and also remembering that in terms of the food, it is one day. And so sometimes we think, I have to get it all in. But remember, especially I think Thanksgiving, if you celebrate it, I think the leftovers are always such a big thing for everybody, making the turkey sandwiches or the casseroles with it or whatever you do. But remember that it's not just one meal. You can have it again later on that day or the next day. So also try to remind yourself that you do not have to have it all in this one particular moment and you're never having it again. Sometimes I think we have thoughts like that. Um, so that's really important to remember as well. The biggest thing is think about how you want to show up and feel good about that and asking yourself in those moments, am I going to feel good about this decision tomorrow morning when I wake up? That's a big one I try to incorporate a lot and I find it helpful a lot of times. And not to get caught up in what everybody else is doing. Again, listen to yourself, right? If everybody else is going for seconds, sometimes we get compelled to like, ooh, that's great. Let me do seconds too. But oftentimes we don't feel as great after the second plate. I know I don't. So I have what I have and then save the rest for later. um, I just invite everybody to really give yourself compassion through this holiday. Remember, you are not alone. If you have an option to even set up a phone a friend, ask somebody, hey, if I'm feeling stressed out or whatever, do you mind if I text you? Will you be available? If not, that's cool too. But that's also another alternative you can do, or call a friend to wish them happy holiday. And that gives you a moment. Think about anything that's going to feel good to you to do that can give you a moment away from something that might be emotionally charged. And there's also the side of missing family members that aren't here anymore. I know that's a big thing for a lot of people, and now myself. I've talked about how I've lost my mom in 2020. My husband lost his dad in 2020. So that's always there as well. And I have talked about in previous podcasts that I have started therapy as well to deal with the loss of my mom. And one thing that I'm going into this holiday season thinking about, and also my birthday lands on Thanksgiving this year. So I'm turning 50, which is like a big deal. But not having my mom for it and knowing that it is emotional. And but my mother specifically loved the holidays. They were such a big deal to her, and she always made them very magical. So I know that, I know that, sorry, getting a little choked up, but I know that my mom would want me to be enjoying all of it. The decorating, the food, the movies, the games, and I really focus on that to honor her, right? So if I wasn't enjoying those, that would make her sad. So I try to remember that when I do get sad about it. And the other thing I do, if you have somebody who's not here, I don't know if this would help you or if you're ready to, but for me, I do have videos. I have a couple of select videos on my phone that have my mom in it that always make me laugh, regardless of how sad I am. So I have been watching those a lot lately, and that's really nice. I get to hear her voice, I get to hear her laugh. It's super helpful. So I also wanted to kind of touch upon that. And if you're not at that point too, if it's still too fresh and you're just sad and you want to be sad and you can be sad, and that's okay too. Like you meet yourself where you are with wherever you are with that. And give yourself compassion and grace. And if you're having a hard time and you do have somebody to reach out to, I do also invite you to do that. Um, so take a time, take a moment, sit with yourself before the actual day comes and think about where you're at, what would be helpful, what can you incorporate, and do your best to show up for yourself and listen to yourself over others. Trust in yourself. And the next week's podcast, I will be talking about what happened during the holiday and how do you show up for yourself after that, whether you showed up exactly the way you wanted to, did you falter a little and you ate too much than you planned, or whatever it is, or you got upset over what somebody might have said and you end up eating. How do we cope, function, learn, and move on from that? That's what I'm going to talk about next time. But for this time, please enjoy your holiday. Please know how thankful I am for everybody who listens to this podcast and continues to support it. If it was helpful, like it or heart it or whatever it is in the platform that you listen to it, and please share it with somebody who might find it helpful. And as always, remember to wake up willing to do something that feels good to you. Have a great holiday. Bye, everybody.